Barry Gibb was born Barry Allen Crompton Gibb on September 1st, 1946, in Douglas, Isle of Man, as the second of 5 children in the Gibb family. Growing up in a household full of music, Barry was surrounded by the sound of creativity from an early age. His parents, Hugh and Barbara, recognised his musical talent and nurtured it. This environment allowed Barry to explore his gift for writing songs that were rich in emotion and complexity. His early exposure to music made him determined to pursue a career in the industry, and this ambition only grew stronger as the Gibb family relocated to England and later to Queensland, Australia. Together with his twin brothers, Maurice and Robin, Barry's dreams began to take shape, and the formation of the Bee Gees felt like destiny. The formation of the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees were born from the combined talents of Barry, Maurice and Robin Gibb. In the late 1950s, the 3 brothers began performing together in small venues in Australia, developing the tight harmonies and unique vocal blend that would make them legendary. After capturing the attention of influential figures such as DJ Bill Gates and producer Robert Stigwood, the Bee Gees moved to England in the mid-1960s. Their rise to stardom was rapid, and by the late 1960s, they were producing chart-topping hits. Known for their emotional ballads such as To Love Somebody and Massachusetts, the Bee Gees solidified their place in music history. As the eldest brother and the group's creative leader, Barry was instrumental in shaping their sound with his iconic falsetto and groundbreaking production. Barry's role in the disco revolution. The 1970s marked the peak of the Bee Gees' career, and Barry Gibb was at the forefront of the disco revolution. The Bee Gees' contributions to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack became some of the best-selling albums of all time. With hits like Staying Alive, Night Fever, and How Deep Is Your Love, Barry, along with his brothers, helped define the disco era. His distinctive falsetto voice became one of the defining features of the genre, and the Bee Gees' success propelled them to international stardom. In addition to their own music, Barry wrote and produced for other artists, showcasing his versatility in adapting to changing trends while maintaining the emotional depth that defined his work. His influence on the music world was undeniable, and the Bee Gees' impact on the 70s remains legendary. The tragic losses and continued resilience. Barry Gibb's life has not been without profound loss. The deaths of his brothers, Andy in 1988, Maurice in 2003, and Robin in 2012, left deep emotional scars. Each loss not only marked the death of a family member, but also the end of a creative partnership that had been integral to Barry's career. These tragedies were a devastating blow to Barry, but his resilience kept him going. He continued to create music, finding ways to honour his brother's memories through his work. His solo album, In the Now, 2016, reflected a more introspective and personal side of his artistry, revealing the depth of emotion that had built up over years of heartache. Even in the face of such grief, Barry's dedication to music remained unwavering. Barry's solo work and musical legacy. Barry Gibb's musical legacy extends far beyond his work with the Bee Gees. His ability to write and produce songs that resonated with people across genres is what has kept him relevant for decades. His contributions to the music world have earned him a place in both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. In 2018, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his services to music and charity. As one of the few artists to have written or co-written 16 #1 hits in the United States, Barry's influence on the music industry is immeasurable. His timeless songwriting, heartfelt lyrics, and soulful performances continue to inspire artists around the world. Barry's unique blend of emotional depth and musical innovation has ensured that his legacy will endure for generations. Barry Gibb reflects on his relationship with Cliff Richard. After decades of friendship and mutual respect, Barry Gibb has finally opened up about his feelings towards British pop icon Cliff Richard. At 79 years old, Barry reflected on their long-standing relationship and the role Cliff played in his musical journey. Barry described Cliff as one of the first artists who showed him that it was possible to be both decent and famous. During the swinging 60s, when many artists were swept up in the chaos of fame, Cliff's humility and moral compass stood out. For Barry, who had seen the darker side of the music industry, Cliff's steadiness was a rare and admirable quality. Cliff's influence also helped pave the way for other British artists, including the Bee Gees, to dream bigger and reach an international audience. Admiration for Cliff Richard's enduring integrity. Barry's admiration for Cliff Richard wasn't just based on respect for his musical success, but also for his character. As Barry noted, Cliff never followed trends. Instead, he made his own. Despite facing mockery for his clean-cut image and religious beliefs, Cliff stood firm in his convictions. This resilience, in Barry's eyes, is what made Cliff such an admirable figure. Barry recognised the courage it took to remain true to oneself in an industry that often values reinvention over authenticity. Cliff's ability to balance his fame with his faith was something that Barry envied, and he spoke about it with deep respect. For Barry, Cliff Richard was more than just a fellow artist. He was a symbol of integrity in an industry full of temptation. The silent respect and enduring bond. Despite their shared success, Barry and Cliff's friendship was never one characterized by frequent contact. Instead, it was a relationship based on silent respect and mutual understanding. As Barry explained, their lives simply took different directions, especially as the Bee Gees' rise to fame in the 1970s brought him into a whirlwind of touring, recording, and media attention. Personal relationships became more difficult to maintain. However, Barry made it clear that his admiration for Cliff never waned. He emphasized that Cliff's ability to stay true to himself despite the pressures of fame is something he will always admire. Their bond, built over decades of mutual respect and quiet encouragement, remains one of the most genuine friendships in the music world. A friendship built on survival and legacy. As Barry reflected on his long friendship with Cliff, he acknowledged the shared experience of surviving the intense pressures of the music business. Both men had lost close friends, including Barry's brothers, and they understood the toll that fame and loss can take. Barry spoke about how Cliff's ongoing success and ability to continue performing well into his later years was a source of inspiration. For Barry, seeing Cliff keep going was a reminder of the strength that lies in perseverance and faith. Their friendship was not just about shared success, but about surviving the ups and downs of life and fame with grace and dignity. A final tribute to Cliff Richard. In the end, Barry Gibb's reflections on Cliff Richard are not about uncovering hidden drama or secrets, but about offering a heartfelt tribute to a peer who has always been true to himself. For Barry, it is not about the public persona that Cliff has crafted over the years, but about the person he is behind the stage. Barry's words serve as a reminder that in the world of fame, the most valuable relationships are those rooted in mutual respect, shared experiences, and a deep understanding of the sacrifices that come with living in the spotlight. At 79, Barry's tribute to Cliff is not just a revelation, it is an act of love and appreciation for a man who, like him, never stopped believing in the power of music and authenticity.